Right now, somewhere in your yard, mosquitoes are breeding. They are breeding in water you do not even know exists. It might be the saucer sitting under a flower pot. It might be the fold in a crumpled tarp. It might be the gutter you keep promising to clean. Down in that water are hundreds of tiny larvae. They wriggle and twitch, getting ready to rise. Soon they become the biting swarm that ruins your evenings. And the fix most people reach for only makes it worse. The chemical spray, the fogger, the service that charges $200 a visit. It does not only kill mosquitoes, it kills nearly everything. Bees, butterflies, dragonflies, fireflies, moths, the very creatures that keep your garden alive. You are paying someone to wreck your yard in the name of saving it. But here is what almost nobody talks about. There's a product that costs around $8. It fits in your hand and wipes out mosquito larvae with near-perfect accuracy. And it will not harm a single bee. Not one butterfly, not a ladybug, nor a dragonfly. It does not hurt fish, birds, your pets, or your children. It targets mosquitoes and mosquitoes alone. One cup in the right spots, and your mosquito problem is finished. Let me show you what it is and how it works, and why the spray companies would rather you never found out. Before we go further, subscribe now. On this channel, we share garden secrets most people never learn. And drop a comment telling me the biggest problem in your garden right now. Pests, weeds, or something that just will not grow. I read everyone. The product is called BTI. It stands for Bacillus thuringiensis israelensis. It is a mouthful, so almost everyone just calls it BTI. You can grab it at almost any hardware store or garden center, or order it online in a couple of clicks. The two most common brands are Mosquito Bits and Mosquito Dunks. The bits look like little brown granules, almost like coarse coffee grounds. The dunks look like small brown donuts that float. Same active ingredient inside both, just delivered differently. And here is what sets BTI apart from every other mosquito product. It is not a chemical at all. It is a naturally occurring soil bacterium. Scientists first isolated it in Israel in 1976. That is where the israelensis part of the name comes from. This bacterium makes a tiny protein crystal. It becomes toxic the moment a mosquito larva swallows it. Inside the larva, the crystal dissolves in its highly alkaline gut. It tears open the gut wall, and the larva dies within hours. Simple, effective, and here is the crucial part, incredibly specific. That crystal only switches on inside a mosquito larva gut, along with a few close relatives like black flies and fungus gnats. Bees do not have that gut chemistry. Butterflies do not have it. Dragonflies do not. Fish do not. Birds do not. Your dog does not have it, and neither do your children. In every other creature, the protein passes straight through and does nothing. It works like a key that fits exactly one lock, and that lock sits inside the gut of a mosquito larva. Look into old rainwater and you will see them, little specks twisting up. Gardeners call them wigglers for exactly that reason. Now let me explain why this matters so much. Because what most people are doing right now is genuinely alarming. Most mosquito spray companies rely on insecticides called pyrethroids. Names like permethrin, bifenthrin, and deltamethrin. These are broad spectrum, which means they kill almost anything with an exoskeleton. When a technician fogs your bushes and fence line, it is not just mosquitoes dying. They coat every surface with a residue that keeps killing for days. A honeybee lands on your treated fence to rest, dead. A monarch brushes a sprayed leaf, dead. A firefly settles on your treated grass at dusk, dead. A dragonfly, one of nature's best mosquito hunters, lands on a shrub, dead. The spray destroys the very insects that would have eaten your mosquitoes for free. And these are not made-up scenarios. Researchers have traced pyrethroid contamination in honeybee hives back to yard spraying. The bees carry the residue home on their legs and in their pollen. It builds up inside the hive, and the colony grows weaker. The queen lays fewer eggs, and eventually the hive collapses. And the homeowner never connects the treatment to their garden going quiet. Back in 2002, thousands of migrating monarchs met a permethrin cloud. It drifted over North Dakota and Minnesota during mosquito control. Thousands died. One of the continent great migrations gutted by a mosquito spray. The monarchs were never the target. They were simply collateral damage. And here is the part that should make you angry. Those sprays are not even good at controlling mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are ferociously fast breeders. A single female can lay up to 300 eggs at once. and those eggs can hatch in as little as 48 hours. So you spray on Monday, and by Wednesday a new generation has hatched. The spray hit the adults, but did nothing to the water making them. It is like mopping the floor while the faucet is still running. It feels like progress, but the problem never actually leaves. BTI does the opposite. It goes straight to the source. It kills the larvae in the water before they ever grow into biting adults. No larvae means no new mosquitoes, and because it only works in water, it never touches a bee or a butterfly. Bees visit flowers, butterflies visit flowers. Neither of them visits the stagnant puddle in your wheelbarrow. That puddle is where the mosquitoes are, and that is where the BTI goes. So let me walk you through how to use it. The method is so simple, it is almost embarrassing. Step 1. Walk your yard and look for standing water. Look for anywhere water sits still for more than a few days. The obvious spots are easy: bird baths, saucers, rain barrels, old tires, a kiddie pool nobody is using anymore. But it is the hidden ones that catch people out. The drain pipe with a low dip where water pools, the crease in the grill cover where rain collects, the bottom of the recycling bin that never quite drains, the wheelbarrow leaning so a pocket of water hides underneath. Mosquitoes do not need a pond, they need a bottle cap. A bottle cap of water is genuinely enough for a female to lay eggs. Step 2. For any water you can dump, just dump it. Flip that saucer, empty that bucket, drill a hole in that old tire. The best mosquito control on earth is removing the water itself. You cannot solve a mosquito problem while handing them a nursery. Step 3. For water you cannot dump, this is where BTI takes over. Take 1 cup of mosquito bits and scatter it into the water. That is the whole process. 1 cup treats about 25 square feet of water surface. For a bird bath, you only need about a tablespoon. For a rain barrel, maybe a 1/4 cup. For a larger feature, a full cup. The bits float and release BTI slowly over 7 to 14 days, and any larva that feeds there simply dies. Now here is a trick most people have never heard of. It might be the most powerful thing I share in this whole video. You can build what gardeners call a mosquito bucket. Take a 5-gallon bucket, ideally a dark-colored one. Mosquitoes prefer dark surfaces when choosing where to lay eggs. Fill it about halfway with water. Toss in a handful of grass clippings or dead leaves. Then simply let it sit for 2 days. Do not cover it. The decomposing plants release a smell mosquitoes find irresistible. It is like a glowing vacancy sign for every pregnant mosquito nearby. After 2 days, sprinkle a 1/4 cup of mosquito bits in. If you like, lay wire mesh across the top. It keeps out debris and animals while still letting mosquitoes in. Now you have a trap. The mosquitoes come to lay eggs, the larvae hatch, and the larvae die. Every mosquito that would have bred in a hidden puddle flies here instead. A crack in your driveway, a storm drain, the neighbor's abandoned pool. They all come to your bucket to die. Set the bucket in shade, about 20 to 30 feet from where you relax. Refresh the BTI every 2 weeks and top up the water as it evaporates. That one bucket can dramatically cut mosquitoes across your whole yard. Some people run 2 or 3 around their property for even better coverage. For the mosquito dunks, the donut-shaped version, it is even easier. Just drop 1 dunk into any standing water. It floats there, releasing BTI for up to 30 days. A single dunk treats about 100 square feet of water surface. Break it into pieces for smaller containers. A 1/4 of a dunk in a rain barrel lasts a full month. And here is the safety record that should ease your mind. BTI has been registered with the Environmental Protection Agency since 1983. That is more than 40 years of real-world use. It has been studied by universities and independent researchers. The World Health Organization approved it for drinking water supplies. It is used to prevent malaria in developing countries. Drinking water, that is how safe this genuinely is. You could eat a spoonful, and the worst part would be the texture. It is completely non-toxic to people. One study was led by the president of the National Beekeeping Union in France. It looked specifically at how BTI affected honeybee colonies. The result was no loss of forager bees and no unusual deaths, no strange behavior and no drop in honey production. Zero effect. That is independent research from a skeptic who had every reason to doubt it. Now I know some of you are already wondering, what about garlic spray, cedar oil, citronella, and essential oils? Here is the honest truth. Most of them have very limited effect. Essential oils evaporate fast. Garlic spray might clear a small area for a few hours, but it does not kill them. They just drift to the other side of your yard. Cedar oil has some repellent power, but it is temporary, and it does nothing about the source. Here is the dirty secret about many natural sprays. Some of them can actually harm pollinators too. Coming from a plant does not automatically make something safe. Pyrethrin is extracted from chrysanthemum flowers, and it will kill a bee just as surely as any synthetic chemical. BTI is different. It does not repel, poison the air, or coat surfaces. It just sits quietly in the water and waits. When a larva eats it, the larva dies. Anything else, nothing happens. That level of precision is nearly unique in all of pest control, and it costs about $8 for a container that lasts all summer. Let me put that in perspective. A professional spraying service charges $75 to $200 per visit. Most recommend treatment every 3 to 4 weeks, April through October. That works out to $500 to $1,400 a season. And every treatment quietly kills pollinators across your yard. A 30-ounce container of bits costs around $8, and it treats an entire yard for the whole summer. You apply it yourself in about 15 minutes, and the only thing that dies is mosquito larvae. $8 against $1,400. Precise targeted control against carpet bombing your whole ecosystem. This is not a close comparison. And here is one more number that ought to bother you. The residential mosquito industry pulls in over $1 billion a year. $1 billion on a service that kills pollinators and only gives temporary relief and never touches the real cause of the problem. The BTI industry that actually solves it is a tiny fraction of that. Why? Because it is cheap. It works too well and you cannot subscribe to it. You buy one container, treat your yard, and you are finished. No contract, no recurring visit, no technician upselling you. And that is exactly why you have probably never heard of it until now. If this is opening your eyes, take a second to subscribe. This is the kind of money-saving garden knowledge we dig into every week. Now let me give you a handful of extra strategies that work alongside BTI. BTI is the foundation, but these make your yard even more hostile to mosquitoes. First, fans. This sounds too simple to be real, but mosquitoes are terrible flyers. They can barely handle a wind speed above 1 mile per hour. A standard box fan pushes wind at around 8 to 12 miles per hour. Point 1 at your patio or hammock, and mosquitoes cannot fly in. They will try, they will fail, and they will go elsewhere. No chemicals, no residue, just a few cents of electricity. And stronger flyers like bees and butterflies are not bothered at all. If you do one thing after this video, put a fan on your patio. Second, invite in natural predators. Dragonflies are mosquito killing machines. A single one can eat 30 to several hundred mosquitoes a day. And their young live in water and devour mosquito larvae there too. So dragonflies attack mosquitoes at both stages of life. But the sprays people use also wipe out dragonflies. So spraying removes one of your best allies and makes things worse. The same goes for bats. A single little brown bat can eat over 1,000 mosquitoes in one night. One bat, 1,000 mosquitoes every single night. Mount a bat house on your garage or a tall pole, at least 12 to 15 feet up, facing south or southeast for warmth. The bats will find it and move in on their own. Then they patrol your yard from dusk to dawn. A bat house costs $15 to $25 and lasts for years. If you have a pond, add mosquito fish that gobble larvae by the hundreds. Third, plant with purpose. Some plants push mosquitoes away while pulling pollinators in. Lavender is the classic. Bees adore it, mosquitoes cannot stand it. Rosemary does the same double duty. Catnip has outperformed many common repellents in studies, and marigolds repel mosquitoes along with many other pests. Plant these around your patio and seating areas. You build a pollinator garden and a mosquito barrier in one move. Fourth, timing. If you must use any spray, do it early morning or late evening. Spray when the bees are in the hive and butterflies have gone to roost. Never spray during peak pollinator hours, roughly 10 to 3. And never spray directly onto flowering plants. Treat the shaded damp corners where mosquitoes rest, not the sunny flowers. Fifth, keep your yard tidy. Mosquitoes rest by day in tall grass, dense shrubs, and leaf litter. Mowing, trimming, and clearing leaves removes their hiding places. It makes your yard far less appealing to lounge in. And an open, sunny yard is exactly what pollinators prefer. Bees and butterflies love the sun, while mosquitoes love the shade. Let me tie this together with a reality check. We are living through what scientists call an insect apocalypse. Global insect population have fallen around 45% in 40 years. Pollinators are vanishing at a rate that should worry anyone who eats, because roughly 1/3 of everything on your plate depends on pollination. Apples, almonds, blueberries, cucumbers, tomatoes, squash. Without pollinators, these crops simply do not reproduce. The ecologist Paul Ehrlich compared it to popping rivets from a plane wing. Pull 1 or 2, and the plane still flies fine. But pull 10 or 20 or 50, and the wing fails catastrophically. We do not know where that threshold sits. But every yard fogged with permethrin pops another rivet. Not out of malice, but the effect is the same. Here is the thing though, you do not have to choose. A mosquito-free yard and a pollinator-friendly yard are not opposites. That is a false choice, invented by companies that profit from chemicals. BTI lets you have both. Kill the mosquitoes and save the bees. It costs about $8 and takes about 15 minutes. There is really no reason not to do it. 1 cup of BTI in every water source in your yard. A mosquito bucket in a shady corner. A fan on your patio. A bat house on the garage. Lavender around the deck. That is the entire system, for under $30 in under an hour. Your yard becomes a place where pollinators thrive and mosquitoes do not. The spray companies are never going to tell you this. They make money by coming back every 3 weeks and selling you fear. But it is not complicated. The science is clear. BTI works, it is safe, it is cheap, and it is available to everyone. So here is my challenge to you. This weekend, head to your hardware store and grab a container of bits. Walk your yard, find every spot where water collects and treat them all. Set up a mosquito bucket in a shady corner. Then come back in 2 weeks and tell me if you are still getting bitten. I am willing to bet that you are not. And while you are out there, try to see your yard a little differently. Look at the bees in your flowers, the butterflies drifting past, the fireflies at dusk. Those are not pests. They are the living heart of your yard. They deserve protecting, just as you deserve to sit outside in peace. If this changed how you think, share it with your neighbors. Every yard that switches to BTI is one more place pollinators survive. And before you go, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. We share garden secrets like this every week. And drop a comment telling me what you want us to cover next.